Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-dum, ba-dum, 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 ba-da-dum. That song is literally stuck in my head.
Welcome to ReShoot, amateurs in no suits, too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end, let's see something never done before.
Welcome to ReShoot, everybody.
it's so good. Welcome to ReShoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film. I am one of your hosts, young Cole. No, it's Ed.
I am sipping an ice cold water because it is so hot in here. We don't have air conditioning.
Give your name.
No. Ruthie.
Time of editing. We'll try and cut that down.
I am the fifth monkey,
Oh,
Hector.
yes. Yeah, and today's movie is 12 Monkeys, starring Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, and Stowe. What's her name?
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
So while she's looking it up, let me say what this podcast is about. We fix movies. Good.
Try to.
The movies that we like, we try to.
Yeah.
Movies that we like, movies that we dislike. Ed here needs to work on his confidence.
Me?
Yeah, because you say we try instead of we do.
I mean, no, we do try.
We do
Varying
try to make
success.
them objectively better.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Her name is Madeline Stowe.
Madeline Stowe, that's right, yeah. So, Bruce Willis, Madeline Stowe, Brad Pitt, starring those three.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's another time travel movie. Woo! Except it's my favorite form of time travel.
Yeah, you picked a good movie. Made our jobs a lot harder, Ed. Thank you.
Yeah,
Although it
I
was
know.
kind of funny. Because Hector's birthday was semi-recently, and for his birthday I got him a card game called Cinephile. Not necessarily like a promo for them, unless they want to make it a promo. Haha, heyo. Bruce Willis in the deck. His face is like the character from 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
And that's the movie on the card.
Yep. Yeah, the game has like actors cards, and then usually the picture is from a movie they're in.
Yeah. Except Leo
Bruce
DiCaprio
Willis?
is like a thing.
Yeah, Leo DiCaprio
The Iron
is from
Mask.
the Man the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
So he's wearing
Yeah.
the Iron Mask.
He's wearing the Iron Mask, yeah.
They knew what they were doing. I applaud them.
Yeah.
See, the
We don't need to
alternate
see his
theory.
face.
You don't need to see his face.
The alternate theory is the graphic designer, whoever was making the card, had the worst time trying to recreate DiCaprio's face, and eventually they were like, "Fuck it," and then found the most
Iron
obscure
Mask.
movie where they can't see his face.
Yep, this is a decent movie. I remember liking it, but seeing as we saw Looper with Bruce Willis also, I felt it only appropriate that he's in two time travel movies, and two very different rules for time travel in these movies.
If you call Looper having rules.
It has rules.
Kinda.
And it's
Looper's the freeform jazz of time travel.
Yes, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's the freeform, but the thing is that they set rules for their time travel, and the time travel fits within the rules for the entire movie. Like, it doesn't break the rules. I'm fine with any form of time travel. Just keep the rules consistent, like Primer. But yeah, this one, unlike Primer and unlike Looper, I'll just spoil it right away. You can't change anything. It's like Time Traveler's Wife, where literally it's already happened. So when you go back in time, you just
tell us about.
I'll state the movie. In the year, in the far future of, like, I think it's like 2020 something, 2027 or something like that.
No, it's 2030.
Oh, really? I didn't.
I think I might be wrong. I thought it was 2030.
Well, they said like 30 years in the future. I don't
Yeah, so it'd be
remember if
2020s.
they So it'd be 2027 because that's
Or it'd be
well,
2026, wouldn't it?
they started dying in Christmas of 96 of
Yeah.
96, and then 97 is when, spoilers, 5 billion people died, which in 1990s was much closer to the total population of humans.
Yeah, they did the math.
Yeah, right now we're at like 7 something. Anyways, in the far future of 2027 or 2030 or whatever, somewhere in
2035.
2035. Okay.
We just looked up on Wikipedia.
Yes, in the far future of 2035, uh, at the time of the movie being made, there were about six, just under or just over 6 billion people on the planet, and 5 billion of those died due to a deadly virus that was released. Whoa. Uh, and the movie starts with our character, James Cole, in the future getting sent out to the wasteland that is the surface of the earth. They're living on the ground, and then he comes back and they select him to send him back in time to 1996 and gather information about how the virus was released, or the virus in general, to try and find a cure or something about it. It's never super explained what they're trying to do. But yeah, he gets selected, gets sent to accidentally 1990, where he meets Madeline Stowe's character, Catherine Riley, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, who's a psychiatrist, and she tries to help James, because he's being crazy. He gets actually sent to a mental institution where he meets Brad Pitt's character, Jeffrey Boynes, who is actually crazy. Yeah, actually mentally ill. And then he tries to escape with the help of Jeffrey, but he doesn't. He gets caught, he gets strapped down, and then he pops back into the future. And then they send him again, and at one point he stops by in World War One, gets shot in the leg, and then he pops back into 1996, where he's supposed to be, where then he kidnaps Catherine Riley, basically, and he tries to find the 12 monkeys because the future believes that it's the 12 monkeys that released the virus. A bunch of stuff happens, not really super important. 12 monkeys, their whole plan was actually just to release the animals, from the zoo. They just release them onto the city. It wasn't them. Catherine makes a call, or James makes a call to the future with a phone number, telling them that it's not the 12 monkeys, but he still doesn't know what it is, who it is. Finds out it was one of Jeffrey Boyne's dad is a virologist. One of his assistants is like a doomsday nut. And he takes a virus from the lab and goes all over the world, releasing it, I guess. And James Cole tries to stop him by shooting him, but he gets shot by the cops and dies with Catherine there. And it's revealed that James Cole has had this dream of someone getting shot in that airport when he was a kid, and it's revealed that he was just watching himself die, and it's on a loop because you can't change anything because it's in the past, and the movie ends.
You forgot to mention the part where one of the scientists from the future goes back in time to take the virus so it can be studied.
Well, he didn't take a virus. He took a spider. She took a spider, right?
No, she met up with the guy who had the virus with him, and he's just like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "Insurance," because she's taking the virus to the future to study it and find a cure.
You know, when I saw her, I was thinking, oh, that's just her 30 years ago. But, that makes more sense.
Because she said, well, that's what she said, insurance.
Yeah, I know, because I was confused because she's credited as an astrophysicist.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Hmm. Yeah, so she's there to hopefully grab the virus
Yeah.
and study it in the future. And yeah, that's basically the movie. It sucks. Nothing changes. Well, I think the scientists knew that they couldn't change the past. That's why the goal was just to gather information to find a way to find a cure in the future, in the present.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the movie. Very good. I liked it. Brad Pitt does incredible. He did this thing with his eye. I don't know if you saw.
I'm not sure that was. I thought it was like a contact or something they used to help him out.
Uh, Possibly, but he was like his eyes were going two different directions. I mean, it was just like slightly more straight or down. Yeah.
I mean, you can give yourself a lazy eye. That's
Yes,
not unheard
my
of.
brother can do that. So he probably did that. He can probably do that too. So it was really good though. It really drove home the he's not mentally stable part of his character. I think everyone did a good job except for Madeline. Some of the lines she said were a little red.
Wouldn't that be more on the scriptwriter or just her delivery?
Um yeah, some of the lines were just kind of hard to like say. I'd say just like because it doesn't make that's not how people talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, might be more on the scriptwriter, but there were several lines that she said that were kind of red. Bruce Willis, like as always, amazing. Oh, cute little Easter egg. Don't know if it was intentional. Probably not. But when James fights off those two homeless in the abandoned theater to save Catherine,
Hmm.
Catherine's like, "Oh my God, you killed him," and he's like, "All I see is dead people." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I actually noticed that. I
yeah,
mentioned it in my likes.
yeah, that was funny." When yeah, I didn't look up when Sixth Sense came out, but I'm assuming it
It
was
was right before.
before. Yeah, assuming it was right before. But yeah, that was a nice, cute little Easter egg. Um, yeah, the movie does a very good job in the story's just I like the story. Uh, Camera work is very bland. That's the number one thing I will complain about. That's my number
There
one
was some
complaint.
fun stuff though. I
There
like
what?
in
Where?
the mental hospital. In the mental hospital, they had a lot of fun
Okay,
Dutch angles.
that's right. Yes, in the mental hospital they do some cool camera stuff that does like it really enhances the James is drugged up. Also, this is a mental hospital. A lot of things going on. A bunch of Dutch angles. Yeah, totally forgot that was going to be one of my things that I mentioned. Apart from that,
Gotta love a Dutch angle.
camera work was very bland, and there was this one scene in the beginning that really just like got me out of the movie, like right away. Was
Okay.
when they first are talking to him to send him back in time, how he sits on the chair and they raise up and that orb comes in, and then they say something, and then it's just fade to black. Cut to 1990. I'm like, fade to black? You couldn't do anything else?
They
Really?
should have done the Channel 5 thing where it's just like transition with explosions.
They do that in Channel 5?
Channel 5, yeah.
Oh, a few times, yeah.
Or
With
or they could just, like zoom into the orb into one of the TV screens and then, like the static like changing channels back in the 90s,
oh, that'd be fun.
and then it starts with the story of little Timmy down the well. You know? That little story that's throughout the movie
Oh,
of the
yeah.
kid getting stuck in the pipe.
Hmm.
That'd be a nice little transition.
Yeah.
And the TV, and then you can go to the whatever art museum where Catherine is, or you don't even need to start there. But yeah, that. I did not like that transition at all. It pulled me out. I hated it. So bad. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. And I already gave my fix. Because that was so bad.
Is that your only fix?
No, that is not my only fix.
Okay,
He
sorry, you made it sound like it was only a singular fix. I'm
No,
like,
I
damn.
gave my fix for that part in particular.
Okay, you're fine,
Okay?
you're fine.
Okay.
Ed Sigma move. Picks movie he likes. Fixes the one thing that bothers him. Hangs up. Leaves. Never does the podcast again.
Does not elaborate further. Leaves.
Leaves.
Oh, I love that meme.
Same.
Honestly, I don't have too many fixes, so. But yeah, that transition, oofda. Everything in the mental institution, keep it as is. Perfect. Brad Pitt, perfect. I like how the title of the movie is also just a red herring. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, the 12 Monkeys don't really... It's just a red herring. That's all they are for the entire movie. They don't really do anything, which I kind of like that it is a red herring, but you know, Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
There should be something that they do that is part of the plot in my like part of the main plot at least. The only real connection is Jeffrey Boynes was the son of the virologist that created the deadly virus, I guess. That's the only connection they have to the main plot of the film.
Ooh. I had a way you could tie them both in together and make it a little less out of left field.
A little less out of left field. The 12 Monkeys or the virologist? Or
No,
the Doomsday Nut?
Dr. Peters, that he's got the virus and not like 12 Monkeys isn't necessarily like in on it fully.
So Peter uses his son.
No,
Or the Doomsday
Peters is
Nut.
the assistant. Yeah. So Peter's still the Doomsday Man, but here's what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm jumping in on my fixes.
Yeah, you're jumping in on the fix.
Sorry.
It's all right. You can.
You
ahead.
can steal the credit. So at one point we get a scene where Jeffrey is talking to Dr. Peters and he's like trying to recruit him in on the 12 Monkeys. He's like, yeah, let's do a virus. Let's like kill the world. Fuck it, whatever. And Dr. Peters, well, Dr. Goines hears this, and Dr. Peters they're both of them are thinking the same thing. That is batshit crazy. We have a super deadly virus that could do exactly that. Let's get this as far away from Jeffrey as physically possible.
Oh, and then that's how it gets...
And then that's how it gets it.
Okay.
So it was 12 Monkeys, but not fully. Because
Wait,
they were trying to keep it away from him.
They were trying to keep it away from Jeffrey, and then what happens?
And so Dr. Peters and Dr. Goines are like, we don't want Jeffrey, who has access to the lab, to have access to this very deadly virus. So Dr. Peters, you go travel other places so Jeffrey can't find you with the virus.
Why can't they just make it? Can't they just kick him out of the lab or like put extra security or something? I don't know.
It might be too late.
Idea, but like...
The thing, Peter, or not Peter, but Dr. Boynes does mention to Peter to up the security, like update the security stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming they do that. But yeah, I like that a lot actually. Better than
Feel free to steal credit. It was during your turn.
I mean, my idea was more of just instead of the assistant, or the assistant is one of the 12 Monkeys kind of thing.
Okay,
and
yeah.
then
That's what I had kind of assumed.
Yeah. And then he uses the escape, like release the zoo animals as kind of like a way to, and he uses the 12 Monkeys abducting Dr. Boynes as a way to get access to the virus. Maybe he's not the assistant, or he just works there, and he knows that there's a super deadly virus there. Yeah. What else did I not like? Well, I did like how Jose was part of the movie for a while, and he's actually pretty pivotal. Pretty cool. I don't like when okay, this is a weird one because I don't like it, but it's really good. I don't like when James starts like saying, "Oh, I'm crazy. I'm mentally ill. This is the present," kind of stuff. It's pretty cool that, like, he believes he's crazy because of the time travel fucks with you that way. But I don't know. It felt too fast, too forced. Also, a lot of his crazy stuff felt too fast, even for a 2-hour movie. Like the speed in which he went crazy.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was very intense.
yeah. Um, which he does go crazy, so kind of. Yeah, but I definitely have to, for my taste, definitely take on a slower scale to just insanity kind of thing.
Can you just
Where
show signs early on?
Yeah, where he's not like as crazy as he was when you first see him when he first time traveled to 1990, but he's just like what like confused as to what's going on because time travel does that to you, but he's not like
Yeah.
fully aware. And then when somebody says it's 1990, he's like, oh. And then just like the more they shoot him back in time, the more he just like starts losing his mind.
Well, it was my assumption that a big reason as to why he started like slipping out of sanity was because a psychiatrist, well, not necessarily that he like psychiatrist would be a big thing in the future, but like a professional who is supposed to tell when people are crazy is telling him he's crazy. She's gaslighting him unintentionally. I thought that was a big reason why he was slipping.
Yeah, that could be. I mean,
Also,
she
taking
wasn't
a
telling.
lot of
Go ahead.
well, through her point of view, she was through the audience point of view, she was kind of accidentally gaslighting.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
thing is like he took a lot of medication that he
Oh yeah, it
was.
was like
Oh yeah, at
four
the mental
times.
institution, right?
Yeah, he took a
Yeah.
lot of meds that he wasn't
That-
supposed to take, and like I worked in the. I used to work taking care of people with mental illness, and like I gotta be real careful with that, like a lot,
And this
like
was the 1990s.
yeah, that's
That's
the '90s.
overprescription Wild West.
Totally, yeah, totally fine.
yeah,
'90s.
no, yeah, no. I
uh,
thought that was also part of it too. Like you're just getting fucked up along with the time
yeah.
travel.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a
I don't know. Yeah. I guess yeah, the drugs do part of it, but overall, I would definitely make it a slower kind of slip into that, and I would actually take out the part where the like short little 20-minute or 15-minute segment where he thinks he's crazy. Um, I would just because I mean, if I'm not like correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, people who are mentally ill, like paranoid schizophrenic, which what James Cole was diagnosed as, uh, they know that something's wrong, right? They know that they're not.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
sometimes. No, I knew one lady who she was a bit more eccentric, but the paranoia isn't that they know something's wrong. It can just be that
no, but they know that something's wrong with them. Do they
no,
know
not
that something's
always,
not
not
always?
always,
Okay.
not always actually. I think out of a lot of people I worked with in the 10 months I worked at that location, at some of those locations, I think only one of them, and like only one of, or two of them
I had like a feeling
knew.
that yeah.
No, like they knew what was up. They were. I hate using the word coherent, but there's no other thing I can tell. Like they were within their wits enough to realize that
Oh,
something was wrong, or
was-
they were just accepting it. Because half the time, a lot of times, some of them are like just don't want to accept it. Like there was one dude who just didn't take his medication for 2 months, and then started wrecking the house one day.
yeah. But
Anyway,
some of
sorry,
them do know that
going off
something's
there.
off, right? Some of them do know that something's off, right?
Somewhat. Again,
They have a
not
feeling.
always.
Yeah. But anyways, back to my thing where, uh, yeah, it starts off where he's he was arrested because he's running around naked, uh, and he's not like as your stereotypical drooling, fetal position, rocking back and forth, like crazy thing.
That's because he was hopped up on horse tranquilizers.
Oh shit, that's right.
They had to
Oh
subdue
my
him
god,
with
they had
like,
fucked him up so bad. I totally forgot
yeah,
about the horse tranquilizer.
and it was
Oh,
like
jeez.
twice the dose they'd give to like a
Oh,
Clydesdale,
yeah, a horse. It's more than what
a
they give
big
to a
fucking
horse.
horse.
He would be dead.
It's Bruce Willis.
It's Bruce Willis, yeah. Yeah, so I guess they did fuck him up on drugs, so I guess that can be okay for their... Forgot about the horse tranquilizer. But I would definitely go more down the line of, like, yeah, the mental hospital, drugged up, and then after that, he is not drugged up, right? He shows up, I mean, he gets shot, but he's not drugged up. And I would say at this point is when, I mean, it's kind of like that already, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about the drugs, and now that ruins my fix. Damn it.
Well, you could say like the cops didn't drug him at first, and he just sounds like a
A
not
crazy
sane
person.
person, and then they drug him for the mental hospital.
That's right, yeah. I forget that I can just change whatever the fuck I want.
You
I keep
can.
forgetting. Yeah. So yeah, let's say he's not horse tranquilizer. He actually cooperates because he's sane. He cooperates with the cops. He's sane, right? But they still arrest him because he's naked. And then the psychiatrist comes in because he's talking crazy shit about the virus and like all that shit and like how people are gonna die. And that's how Riley gets into there because they're like, you gotta help this dude out. And then when he gets to the mental hospital, he's still just like spewing the crazy shit. And then they drug him, and then the Dutch angles and stuff. Also, Brad Pitt's character introduction was amazing. I love it. Oh, he has his
My
shirt
chair.
over his head. Oh yeah, he has a shirt over his head, and he's like, "What?" And then somebody sits in his chairs. Get out! Get out!
Yeah, no, Brad Pitt was a good
Yeah.
intro. God, some people
Yeah.
are really possessed.
Brad Pitt's such a
Some
good
people are
actor.
stupidly possessive of their shit. I'm not. That's not even like. Man.
I know I can
Yeah.
get oddly possessive.
Working in houses, people just break. Just sorry to interrupt, but
No,
just
you're fine.
like, God, so many people were just like they wouldn't. They were adults, like so they wouldn't be like always as angry about them taking their spot, but like there'd be some weird passive aggressiveness for a little bit sometimes. It was bananas.
Not that I am like trying to claim a mentally ill label, but I know like personally, when we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, we're doing it on the exact same couch. I don't like to be a player when I'm sitting where I'm at. This is a DM spot. So when Hector is like DMing or Ed's DMing, I like to be on the far side, and vice versa. If I'm DMing, get the fuck out of my spot. This is my spot.
Yeah, I never noticed that, but now yeah.
Left side of the couch, DM spot.
Mine.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe he doesn't get horse tranquilizer. Dutch angle's crazy. Mental institution. And then basically plays out the same where he just vanishes, pops back into the future, present, and he's still a little doped up. So they wait until he's not doped up, and this is where he starts showing signs of like not being sure of like what time he's in, where he's at, kind of stuff. I don't like the voice he heard in his head of that raspy dude. Cut.
Who was
100%.
that?
That was
He-
the
No,
the
it
voice.
wasn't.
Was it?
It was a voice in his head. The homeless person was the voice, but
It kept
wasn't actually
appearing.
talking.
It wasn't actually him though, because it kept appearing at different places. So like, I
Yes,
don't know what
that
the
is
fuck that
true.
was. Was it
Yeah.
just one like, yeah, he's actually crazy?
It was just in his
all
head.
this
Yeah,
time?
it was just in his head.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, yeah, cut that whole voice thing out. I don't like it. The voice in his head kind of thing. But yeah,
You want us to cut it out? No, but you make a point. Like it's not.
no, like cut
Oh,
it from the
oh,
movie.
yeah.
cut the raspy
Oh.
voice out.
I thought. Gotcha.
The voice in his head out.
Yeah,
Cut
yeah.
that. Or yeah, he's like, and instead of like having that conversation with the voice in his head when he's back in the future. He's just, I don't know, looking around and just like talking to himself, like, where am I? Like, is this the present? Is this the past? The future? Kind of stuff. I don't know. Just have him mumble to himself to let us know that he's kind of losing the grip on
Not
what he's
having a great
supposed to be
time,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah, not having a good time. And then when he gets sent to World War One and gets shot in the leg, where he sees a Jose, and then he like somehow pops back into 1996. That's where he's like, "What's going on?" Yeah, just like that going on, and then he kidnaps what's her face because Oh yeah, another thing I didn't like: Stockholm syndrome. Right? I'm not wrong in thinking that
They
with
both were kind of
Riley.
stuck. I
It was a codependent relationship.
it was incredibly uncomfortable, and honestly, I think the part that weirds me out the most is Dr. Riley,
Oh yeah, she's so yeah.
because like she's his therapist, she's his psychologist. That's fucked up. Like we're supposed to be sympathetic with her, but like nah, fuck
Yeah,
her.
it was so
You
weird.
didn't. No, it's uncomfortable. This happens way too often in real life too. So
Yeah.
like,
So another thing to just get the hell out of there: any romance at all. Any romance at all, just cut that out. We don't need it. It's really weird.
is it
Fortunately,
more?
there
Is
was
this more
no.
just a
Go
Is
ahead.
this more just a symptom of the '90s though?
Yes, I know, but fortunately, there was no unneeded sex scene. That was not part of the
True,
movie.
true. It could have gotten a lot worse.
Could have gotten a lot worse when they
Yeah.
went to that hour motel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, I
Um.
can make it a lot worse.
please do not.
You
Don't.
don't?
Please do
No.
not.
Okay.
No, cut the romance out. Instead, it's just like instead of like her going kind of crazy because of him, I want her to be smarter about it. Where at first she doesn't believe him, but then he starts saying things that like maybe that 6 year gap when he first met with Riley, like he told her some stuff that was gonna happen because he was more like normal, and then he tells her some stuff in that 6 year gap that stuff happens, and then when he kidnaps her, she's like, "You said some stuff that actually happened," and then she's more just like trying to like investigate and find out what is actually going on. She might not fully believe that he's a time traveler still, like she does in the movie. Uh, but yeah, take the romance thing out. Make her more of a like actual psychologist trying to help him.
And just speeding things up along on the progress of her
Yeah,
believing. Okay. No, that's
Yeah,
yes,
good.
and
yeah.
speeding up the progress of, because she doesn't truly fully believe him at the end. Still, she's still like doubting it.
I think it's more just no, I think she believes. I think she's just trying to like still hold on to that old view of hers just for comfort.
Yeah. I
Mm,
mean, if someone had come up to us in like 2019 and been like, "Hey, so like 3 years from now you're gonna be amidst a pandemic," would you believe them? Like, if they kept giving you proof, you'd still like 100% believe them when like they've kind of been flip flopping and confused and they haven't given you all the information because they don't fully know.
Yeah.
Would you still believe them?
that is true. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but like yeah, I want her to be more actual psychologist, like she was at the very beginning of the movie, trying to help him. Maybe she kind of believes him like she did in the movie. I don't know. That's another thing. Also, another thing, uh, the scene where he's in the water. He jumps in the water and he's like splashing it, right? I swear, I saw. Like the first time I saw this movie, I remember him getting down to his knees and like splashing a lot, and then he vanishes. But that didn't happen. But you know what? I want it to happen. I want him to like the real first look of his full like break should be there in the water where he like starts splashing around talking about like this isn't real, like doesn't matter, and then he vanishes. I like that. I don't know. And yeah, 12 Monkeys more involved. I like the thing where they were on the right track, that it was the 12 Monkeys, but not fully. It's just one of the 12 Monkeys was someone who worked at the virologist thing, and he was able to use them to break in and then get the virus out. Yeah, I think I'm done.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I was very all over the place, but
No, I get it. I see what you're going for. It's just
yeah,
more showings of crazy and different showings of crazy.
yeah.
Or sorry,
And I
mentally
have
just insane
Chekhov's gun
or
for
not
12
mentally
Monkeys,
well. Yeah. Just kind of rephrase that.
because Chekhov's gun is like, I think the thing is that like if you show it at any time, like it needs to become a thing later, right?
Yeah, Chekhov's gun is if you have a gun in the first act of a movie, a TV show, a play, whatever, it has to go off by the end of the second act.
Mm,
Or I thought it was the final
Oh,
act.
the final act, yeah. It
the
has to
final,
come back later. It has to mean something.
yeah, and the 12 Monkeys is definitely part of the first act.
Yeah.
I mean, he does mention it in the first act, right? Because I think the
Yeah.
first act is up until he pops back to the future after the mental institution.
Hmm.
Yes.
I think that's would be around the first act. And I think it's mentioned there. I'm not sure.
Yes. No, that's when you mentioned. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So 12 Monkeys. This one isn't gonna be that long, to be honest. I have more, I think, longer dislikes than fixes, and I like this movie a lot. The acting was again really solid. I like seeing Bruce. I almost said Bruce Pitt. God damn it.
That's the ship name.
Bruce Willis. I don't know. I was actually pretty sold on him like losing it. Pitt, on the other hand, there were moments where it was believable, and other times where it felt like just scenery chewing. And like, while I did like it, I don't know. Some scenes felt a bit much.
I agree.
Although his whole anti-corporate thing, I'm pretty sure is what got him to be Tyler 4 years later for Fight Club. I am sure this was his audition, in a sense. You guys already mentioned the Sixth Sense callback. My last like really is I actually finally understand why Ed likes Nothing Can Be Changed with time travel. It's fun to kind of see how the puzzle was made in a sense, or try to assemble this puzzle before the movie gets to it. It's fun. Now my dislikes. Some of these are
That
kind
was a
of
short list.
huh.
Oh
That
my
was a
god.
short list, and you liked the movie.
I really like the movie, but I knew you guys were gonna say everything I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, it's
Dang.
fine. Dislikes. The fact that Catherine. Actually, no. Let me go back. I had one more like. It was kind of interesting. Ruthie and I were having a conversation about some like mental health stuff because like she was really appalled at some of the stuff going on at the asylum. Like the restraints, is that legal? I'm like, no, back then it definitely was.
I mean, I wasn't appalled. I was just asking you because you're the expert. I know it's shitty. I know it happens.
Yeah,
It
no,
sucks.
it still kind of happens nowadays, but it's not supposed to. Like, or it's not only supposed to be in like extremes, because like, shit's traumatizing. Like, imagine you're like everything's out to get you. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff happening, and then you get restrained. Like, there was one time I was talking to a coworker, and I'm not trying to turn this into Hector Story Hour, but like I don't know, it's so weird. Like I was talking to him about something. It was about food or weekend plans. And I said something that sounded like restraint just as his client was walking down the stairs and we made eye contact. Right as I said the word that sounded like restraint. He got so scared for the next hour that I was going to put him in restraints for no goddamn reason. Like, it's terrifying. Like, just try and imagine, like, you know, all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a thought. Sorry, didn't mean to go heavy. Dislikes. Didn't mean. God, I feel like I killed the vibe.
I can add in a little anecdote as well if you want. I don't know if it's fun or not. Otherwise, I'd call it a fun thing.
Sure.
I was watching a Vlogbrothers video where John Green, you know, the author, Fault in Our Stars, like for Alaska, et cetera, he was visiting a mental hospital in Sierra Leone. And a couple of years ago, they were in a really bad spot. Uh, like they didn't have access to running water and electricity, and like it was horrible. And all they could do for the patients, like they had no meds. All they could do was like restrain them and kind of hope for the best. But now that they have access to running water, to electricity, now that they're getting access to meds, they don't have to use the restraints anymore.
That's
So
good.
yeah, yay. Vibe unkilled.
No, that's great. Thank you. Dislikes. The fact that Catherine, a psychiatrist, knows how to stitch a wound because she's a doctor, especially.
You do have to go through medical school to be a psychiatrist, right?
I thought it was more for pharmaceuticals.
I thought you had to go through medical school because I know a psychiatrist who had to go to med school.
Yeah, never mind. Take that back. It was just such a weird line.
Also,
Like
she mentioned that his wound needed stitches. She never said that she stitched him up.
They showed her.
Yeah, she was stitching it.
She was stitching it up.
Stitching it? She was just
Yeah.
bandaging it.
No, she stitched it.
I remember stitching.
I remember stitching. I don't know. It just seemed like a lot, especially for a bullet hole. Like that's a bit more extreme. I don't know. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, also she worked in a place with like a lot of people who try to harm themselves more frequently than not. So
Yeah, wow.
So-
mental
Go ahead.
mental health in the 90s was Wild West.
Yeah.
sorta. It was just because
Little-
again, like I mentioned that one episode of Joker, Reagan cut a lot of mental health funding.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Little goof, I just remembered with the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
When she has the bullet out, it's the whole bullet with the casing.
Dude, the French were wild, man. It feels like that.
That's the whole casing with the bullet still there.
They learned from Kate Johnson. Learned from the best, dude.
Fix
Also-
it. Just have a Frenchman stab him whole ass with a bullet.
If you have with the casing, it's not efficient. That's the thing.
Mm.
Wait, what?
Like, no, if you have a bullet with the casing, it's not as efficient. I remember reading someone saying, like, that's the in-universe reason as to why the guns in Portal 2 don't kill you straight up, the turrets, is because in the Cave Johnson, it's like, we use the whole casing, so 75% more bullet per bullet. But the thing is, the casing makes it harder to kill, so that's why it takes longer. That's why Shell canonically can survive a few shots. It's genius writing, but it's also like explaining why Bruce Willis fucking survived a World War, World War One or French
World
War.
War One.
It was World War One. Yeah,
World War One.
because it was the trenches.
Oh no, they did have casings in World War One.
Yeah. Keep in mind, guns in World War One. That was like the first real war with machine guns, and they were not effective death machines quite yet. They were devastating, but they jammed often. You had to have like 2 or 3 people man the machine guns. One person would just hold the bullets and keep them flat so the gun wouldn't jam.
Yeah. They had a free moving barrel too.
Yeah.
The barrel would move. But yeah, I remember just her holding the bullet. I'm like, that's a really big bullet. And I'm like, oh, the casing's still there.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. The actual thing with Catherine is she says advertisement weird.
Advertisement, right?
I mean, that's right. I forgot.
I'm like, she's not American because like she sold me through the entire thing, but then it's like no one in America says it like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, now because it was in the 90s, I'm trying to think if they were just tell her to say it that way to make her sound smarter. Because she's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, but that's a. I'm not gonna say that.
I know. It's the 90s though. We gotta think
Smarter, but she says it like the British.
Yeah. You gotta think like the 90s, bro.
I know. Okay, my last dislike. The dude in the hotel room who just kind of like.
Oh, the random pimp?
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah.
Weird. He was a pimp.
Yeah, he was a pimp.
I
That's the
didn't.
whole thing. It was like,
I
you're
thought.
on my turf.
I thought it was just like, okay, I completely misunderstood. I thought it was just some random dude who just like snuck into the room, and then he's like, "Oh, you're on my turf,"
No,
because the
No,
movie
he.
deals with
no,
insanity. So I thought it
that
was like,
this was his territory. All of his
I,
girls were working the building, so when she comes in, she's not one of his girls, and he's like, "What the fuck? That's my money."
that explains. Okay, I thought he was just some random like a homeless dude who just snuck in there and slept there, and I thought it kept with the theme of the insanity thing.
Nope, he's just a pimp.
Yeah,
That made wow. He didn't. I'll be honest. Every time I see like, I think of pimps, I think of the stupid like suits they wear in like a lot of movies.
I
Oh,
have seen someone wear a suit like that in real
like
life.
all purple and the like leopard print fluffy
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that
jacket.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
with the
The
yeah.
cane and
crazy
stuff.
hat
Yeah,
with the feather. Yeah.
yeah.
I've literally seen somebody wear that in real life.
Ruthie, it's not
Oh,
hard. It's Portland.
it's Portland.
Not
Yeah,
just that. It was when I was working at Target in downtown Portland.
Yeah, that's not hard.
yeah. That's Portland. This is Portland, bro. I saw a
It's
guy with
just
a fucking
Portland.
plate doctor mask walking around in Portland once.
That's just a Tuesday.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, well, fun fact. He's credited as Scarface though, because he
Nice.
has
Nice.
scars on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fixes. Remove the guy. Remove the pimp. That's all it's there. It's just to show, like, oh yeah, ripping the teeth out, but like it was kind of weird. I didn't like the scene. I get it's just goofiness and probably lightening up the mood, but like I felt like it kind of killed the pacing a bit for it, and
Yeah,
a really good scene in the hotel. Like I'm not trying to be a fuddy duddy. I know it's a fun scene. It's just I don't know, subjective.
subjective.
I don't like Pitt doing the eye thing. It just kind of like
The
it
lazy
goes a
eye.
bit. It goes too far into
I love
like
the lazy eye.
let me. I know. It's just again my background. It's just like okay, how can
Yeah,
we someone look more crazy? Oh, the lazy eye. Okay,
yeah,
I know like a lot of sweet.
yeah.
I don't know. I
So
get
no
it. I
lazy
get
eye,
it.
but the twitches, yeah.
The what?
The twitches, yes, but no lazy
Oh,
eye.
some of them. Yeah, the twitches were fun. Fun. That was fine. I also like. I don't know. It's not as weird as you'd think.
You ever hear a word and it just like triggers a movie core memory for you?
What's your okay? What?
You guys just started saying lazy eye, and all I could think about was like my favorite movie from 20 years ago, An American Tail, Fievel Goes West. Because there's a scene where the dog sheriff is trying to teach the cat, like soon to be cowboy hero, how to be intimidating, and the whole trick is the lazy eye, and he's like trying to figure out
Oh,
how to do the lazy eye, and his eyes are bugging out like crazy, and he can't do it.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh man, I know what we need to watch now.
that's the that's I that sounds familiar. The
I
lazy
will
eye
find
thing.
it, and I will. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Huh.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I go to my big fix?
Mm.
Make the
Ooh.
romance one-sided, and it could maybe make the movie more tragic. I'm not sure if this works. It was just an idea I had. Again, I had a really hard time fixing this, Ed. Thank you.
That is really good. I like that.
Well, do you want to hear how I did it?
Which side? Which side? The one
Catherine's
side.
falling in love. Catherine's
Mm,
the one falling in love. But Bruce, I forgot his name and I wrote this part down. Just ignore it.
James Cole.
But Bruce is just James.
Hmm.
James Cole.
James Cole. But James is more in love with the timeline than anything else. He just doesn't want to leave. So maybe at the end he has. So at the end he's like, you can maybe like Catherine's in this. You know, she's in the airport's dangerous situation, and he has a chance to go back in time even further. He's offered the choice
Because he got the pardon.
because he got everything done. So he takes it. Like, you know, maybe he didn't rip out his tooth and he still gets communicated. It's like, you've done well. Do you want to go back in time? Yeah. So he goes back in time, and it's the punishment for forsaking the mission. He gets sent to the airport, and he doesn't catch it, and then he's shot. But just from another angle, so he's not expecting it. So if he had actually just stuck with Catherine, he would have lived.
Oh.
And that's also why a lot of prisoners never came back. It wasn't just because of It wasn't just because of like they're lost in the wilderness in the future timeline. It's because they were sent back in time and just left for dead there, or murdered there.
They were set up.
Yep.
And Jose wasn't?
And what?
Jose wasn't?
Jose was a good dude. I don't know. I feel like Jose wasn't set
And
up.
there's still time for him to be
A hero?
stabbed in the back by
I
the
realized I
Also,
accidentally pulled a
yeah, that too.
looper, but whatever.
whatever.
I pulled a looper, but whatever. I like the
Did!
idea
Oh
of
my
like.
god, he did.
Hector is super duper looper over here.
Alright, that's all my fixes. I just.
Also, yeah, like, I don't know, there's still, like, I don't want to say time because of the pun, but the prison board could absolutely still, like, stab Jose in the back.
Yeah. Also, like,
Yeah.
maybe Catherine sees it. She's like, oh, he came back. He lied. But nope, he was being selfish. He gets shot right in front of her. I think even from a worse angle now. It's on the other side of the room, maybe. Young James sees this.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's just a little thing to twist it further. I don't know. I'm done. Ruthie, your turn.
All right. I liked the interesting camera work, specifically in the asylum, like all the Dutch angles. I liked it. Good shit. I wish there was a little bit more of it.
Ed's doing that like yeah face.
Yeah. I liked Brad's mannerisms. At first I'm like, is this offensive or is it just like fun? And eventually I kind of just like, it's fun. Yeah, I liked it.
I don't think they were trying to be. They could do a lot worse if they were. I
Yeah.
think it was just like a little bit of hamming up, which is
Yeah,
fine. It's
yeah.
just, again, it's a personal nitpick. I know people
A
might jump
little
after
bit
it.
of hamming up, and also I think a little bit in just like the 90s not understanding mental illness very well.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
No, but like I think still that Pitt did his research. Like some of the stuff he was doing is like stuff I've seen.
Yeah. This was. Yeah.
And just some of the way people were talking in the asylum, like no, they did their homework. They clearly did.
Yeah, at least Brad did.
I noticed an interesting parallel with there's the prison board at the very, very beginning of the movie, and they're judging James Cole's fate. And then in the first act, when he's at the psych ward, I don't know, I noticed there's something there. I have two dots. I have not connected them, but they are there.
Good. I didn't catch that though. Good eye.
Yeah. This movie hit different after COVID.
God damn.
I haven't seen. I didn't watch it before COVID, but like, oof. You know what I mean?
I watched it before COVID, and watching it now, I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah. It do be like that.
Different.
Once again, I liked the all I see are dead people. I think I was the one who pointed out between the two of them.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And I haven't even seen that movie. I was just like,
the twist is that the man is Bruce Willis the entire time.
And I don't know, I liked the subtle world building in the future. Like, we know it sucks, and we got like glimpses of the suck, but we don't like have him like. I mean, like, there's like, I don't see fresh water. Like, we don't have sunlight, but like, I don't know, there's little itty bitty details, and I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
The air's so clean.
Yeah. Dislikes. I had a really hard time getting into this movie. At the end of last episode, or not last episode, at the end of Looper, I said, I was jokingly saying I was going to like Looper more than 12 Monkeys. And that ended up actually being true. I liked Looper a lot more than I liked 12 Monkeys. Not that 12 Monkeys is bad, I just didn't enjoy it as much. It's my opinion that's wrong.
Looper is more of an entertainment than 12 Monkeys is for sure.
Yeah. The way that the future prison board spoke, it was very weird and distracting. That was one of the things that brought me out of the movie. Just the way that they would talk. It was just something about it where
they switch up all the time.
But they'd also speak in weird intonations.
And the weird zoomy angles.
Bro,
but specifically with their voices.
I actually like that.
It was very
It made them feel more like inhuman.
It also made him more certain that he was insane later on. I thought that was a good.
I would have liked it.
Chekhov's gun.
I would have liked it if they had started like at first they were kind of normal, but later on it kind of appeared more like that. But that's just me.
That's fine. Oh, that'd be good too.
Interesting.
It's good fix.
Smaller detail, and yeah, she talks normally in the plane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she talks totally normal. I think she's the one who talks the most normal out of all of them, also.
Yes.
Probably she's the only one sent back in time.
All right, which one Which one of us can go back to the past and pretend to be normal person? I'll do it. You're hired. Just a little nitpick. Dr. Lady, what's her
Catherine.
Catherine. Both times she's like introduced and reintroduced. It's in it's like in an art context, and it's kind of confusing. Like, why does she keep popping up? Like, is she a doctor of psychiatry and art history?
She could have just been using her art. She could be a psychiatrist with art therapy,
I would.
and then I've met people like that.
I would have liked that a lot more.
They know a lot. I've met an art therapist. They are a very interesting way of using art.
Yeah.
Actually, one of them used dance. That was very interesting.
Dude,
I'll stop. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
I'm going back in time.
That'd be really
Right now,
cool.
so I'll
Yeah,
stop.
maybe she's an art therapist, and she tells Cole at one point to like paint something. He just paints the 12 monkey thing.
Or he just paints what the future looks like, and it's just black because he's in a dark hole.
Yeah.
That actually is pretty. I know you're joking, but like that actually is a pretty good.
Yeah.
Would increase his like therapy or insanity / depression.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I like that. Very cool.
I put this in my dislikes, but I don't know why. I thought it was kind of funny. There was a moment where they did a reverse Fifth Element where Bruce Willis was being taxied by Dr. Catherine.
Yeah.
This is unironically a testament to his filmography. The scene where he has her kidnapped in the hotel is very creepy and uncomfortable, and I know that's the point. I just don't like it.
No, that's fair.
You're
It's
allowed
like
to not like things, Ruthie.
I know.
It's just like you wouldn't change, but it's something you still dislike.
Yes.
I get it. No, you're fine.
You're allowed to
It's
not
more for
like
the audience before they hound us again. No, we haven't been hounded.
Yeah. I don't want people to just be like, oh, she's just like whiner. I just don't like it.
If anything, I'm the whiner here. You're fine.
All right, my last dislike. We've all discussed it. The implied romance between Dr. Catherine and Bruce is not a great look. Like, we, the audience, know that we know that James is like telling the truth. So it's not like she's not fully gaslighting him. She's not fully like his therapist, but like she is his therapist and she is gaslighting him. And they do like kind of have a romantic relationship, and that's not cool. Fuck that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, we're supposed to like her, but this makes me not like her, like, a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start a little bit backwards. Instead of my first instinct was cut out the romance between Catherine and James. But, hear me out. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Hold your saws. Switch the romantic partners. It's not Catherine and Bruce. It's Jeffrey and Bruce. I will not elaborate further.
As fun as I like the idea, good luck in the 90s.
I know, I'm just saying, like, I can change whatever I want. I think that might be interesting.
I mean, it will work better in the original French film that this is based off of.
True.
I've not seen the original.
My next fix, I just thought, what if, hypothetically, we, the audience, didn't know that James was telling the truth? So here's how the movie starts. Catherine is doing an art therapy lesson. I like it. I'm stealing it. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
It's during my turn. I'm stealing it.
Okay.
Catherine's in the middle of like an art therapy session when she's called by the police. The police tell her, hey, we have this guy. He's super hopped up on drugs right now. Please come by and do a therapy for him, please. So she goes there. She's talking with him. It's Bruce Willis. He's like describing everything. Like, I'm from the future. This is supposed to be 1996. There's a virus. As he's talking, as he's like describing the future, we see snippets, but we don't actually get to see the future until he actually goes to the mental hospital.
And they could just be in his head.
Exactly.
No, it's good.
Yeah. Because then
So
it makes
switch
like
the
that
point of view to Catherine more.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just in the first act.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second act, we can go back and show everything from Bruce's perspective, and then third act where everything kind of is in balance.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to take yours. Sorry.
No. You clarified it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, grades.
Yes,
You're gonna give it an A.
correct.
I'll give it like an A minus, B plus.
C plus. It's not my movie.
No, it's fun.
Understandable. It's not
Have a
everyone's
nice day,
movie.
Ruthie.
But yeah,
You're kicked
that's
out
a
of the
really
podcast.
that's a really good point you brought up earlier, Hector, about you understand why like you can't change anything in time travels because of the little puzzle you have to solve of how trying to fix the thing actually makes the thing to happen. And I never thought about it that way, but yeah, it is true. That I think that's one of the reasons why I like it. First of all, because it's much less messy, and second, yeah, it's a little cool little puzzle to try and figure out.
Well, yeah, it's like the traditional mysteries are whodunits. We are in the perspective of the detective who knows or doesn't know what's going on and who's trying to figure it out. But I know I've brought this up on multiple podcasts now. This is the second one. Columbo is a reverse of that. It's a how catch 'em. We saw the murder at the very beginning. We're just trying to figure out how Columbo's going to pick it up.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
it's a really good point.
All right. What has everyone been watching or whatever, reading, whatever?
I finished watching The Boys.
Don't say. I just started. Don't say anything.
You started like season 1 also, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would he start at season 3?
Because I thought maybe he's seen season 1 and 2 already. I don't know.
No.
Oh yeah, first season is honestly the best so far. Season 3 is okay. I finished The Boys. It was okay. It was good. It was nice. I took some turns.
Hector and I saw Thor: Love and Thunder.
I need to see that.
I'm gonna do a reshoot with Screen Fix.
Screen Fix.
They do the exact
Screen
same thing.
Fix.
They do the exact same thing we do, and as of the day of this recording, which I'm not gonna say, I'm recording with them a fix for Thor because I'm like, they do modern movies that are in theaters. They're gonna do this one, so yeah. I asked, and they were like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. My take on Thor: Love and Thunder. It was pretty good. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I didn't have to like set it within like the mythos of Marvel, which is like what everyone else is doing apparently. Apparently I'm the only person who can just enjoy a movie for what it
No,
is.
that's not the issue. That's not. It's not because the myth how it fits with Marvel. It's just a lot of people have issues with the tone and some other stuff.
Some, but a lot of people are like, all Marvel movies are the same. Blah blah.
And then
Let me just enjoy the
yeah,
movie.
I saw that there were a whole bunch of like bad talk about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Everybody's shitting on Thor: Love and Thunder on Twitter, and it like, yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I like Taika Waititi movies.
Yeah,
I liked
love
it.
that.
This was definitely his weakest one, in my opinion.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't
I've
want to have
seen a
to.
lot of them, but yeah.
I've seen a lot of Taika Waititi movies
No, I know,
too.
I know.
I don't want to consider somebody's entire filmography when I just want to watch Thor punch a guy, and he does. He punches guy. There, I got what I wanted. Rant over. Ah,
Yeah, why were people shit talking Thor: Love and Thunder? Like,
because they're like,
Well,
they were
yeah,
like
you
there
go.
were these
so
specific
you've been a
things.
little. It's. I don't know.
You get why people are hating it. I'm
It's
frustrated.
more just like it's tries to be too funny, but the way it does it is like it's just being like meta in a not funny way at times, and then like it or over explaining a joke, and that's the joke. Or because I can think of a few examples where this happens.
Um,
Or the other thing is they do a joke too many times and they run it to the ground, and they're hoping it becomes funny again, but it just doesn't. Ruthie knows the joke I'm thinking of at
Yep,
this point.
and I enjoyed it.
She enjoyed every minute of the joke.
Yes.
I don't know, and also like it just feels like it's almost embarrassed. Some people are saying it's almost embarrassing to be a Thor movie, or that Thor's a dumbass. I don't fully. I understand the Thor dumbass stuff. I heard about that going in. I didn't catch anything of him being a dumbass. I think he was just being
he was being Thor again.
insecure.
Because
He
Thor
was just being insecure.
insecure. Because I remember in Thor 1, he was just like weird. And then somewhere along the line, they decided to make Thor just kind of a bumbling idiot. And I
He's
That was
love
not
it.
a
three.
bum.
That
He
was
wasn't
three.
fully like a bumbling
I
idiot.
know,
That
but
was
he's
I
just
don't
the
know.
Tekka.
dummy. But he's just the
It was a
dummy.
retweet. He's not a dummy. He's just like a he's a himbo, but
He-
he's not
yeah.
like an idiot himbo. He's
He's a
just
himbo?
he's just saying,
Is that
Yes, he's a
male
himbo.
bimbo?
Yeah.
he's a
Well,
himbo.
okay. A himbo and a bimbo are just a little bit different. Bimbo is a little bit more sexualized than himbo. A himbo, you need two things to be a himbo: a lot of muscles. You need a lot of muscles, and you need like a heart of gold. So like
Okay.
Kronk is peak himbo.
Like, he's not stupid, but he's also not like the smartest guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Thor's just a himbo through and through.
Yeah. Peak
Kronk
himbo
is
energy.
the rock dude, right?
Korg?
Is
I don't know.
wait.
No, Kronk is from Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah,
oh,
no, I'm talking.
that's right. Okay, yeah. Beep. So, Thor: Love and Thunder, Cowboys.
Well, I'll tell the one Ruthie wants me to say, which is, and then I'll say what I actually want to say. Mine will be the one she wants me to say is short. She finally got me to see 50 First Dates. First half is like almost complete dog shit when it comes to the humor.
That's fair.
Rob Schneider and like acting as a Hawaiian is just not funny.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form.
I didn't know.
Personally, I get it. Some of the humor is weird. The romance is actually super solid, and some of the jokes from the romance aspect are hilarious. That's my quick one. I think I wrote something similar in my letterbox. If anyone wants to find it, it's on Twitter somewhere.
Or find him on Letterboxd.
It's ReShoot Hector. Now, the one I actually want to say is my favorite cartoon growing up is on Netflix, and I'm finally able to watch it for the first time in 16 years.
Help.
What?
Someone
What?
Help. He's
Spectacular Spider-Man is on Netflix.
He's making me watch
shit.
it. Someone said
Ed,
help.
please watch it. It's only 24 episodes. It's the best
24 or 26?
26, sorry. It's the best Spider-Man cartoon. Like,
Help.
everything.
Is that the one where
okay,
or one of the episodes he turns into a spider, basically?
That's the 90s
Man
Spider-Man.
Oh,
No,
this is
That's
different.
not the one. It's also not the one where he goes unhinged and screams "Striker" a bunch of times. Shocker a bunch of times.
In the black suit, in the symbiote suit? No,
Yeah.
that's the 90s one. No, Spectacular Spider-Man came out in like Kids WB in like 2006, I want to say, or 2004.
I thought it was 2008.
2008, thank
That's
you.
what's on
2008. I watched it on Kids WB growing up, and like Saturday morning, I wake up super early, and like, holy shit, like, almost every episode is like street level Spider-Man. It's super low stakes. Like, it's more
It's
personal.
everything that he loves about Spider-Man.
It's just like the lower state. I mean, I don't like Spider-Man. There's rarely bad Spider-Man. The current comic book run, yes, but I'm not going to go on about that. The point is, I love it when Spider-Man gets to be a street level hero, and this is just like low street level. Like, the most he stops are some like underground crime stuff. It's great, and like the Sinister Six, it's great. It got canceled at the end of season 2 with the worst cliffhanger, and we're never gonna get it resolved. I've accepted that in my heart. But like, if I can convince anyone, it's great. The quips are pretty good.
The quips are good.
Sometimes it's a little more like, yeah, they're keeping it more kid friendly, but like, it's a solid show. Everything that is built up, everything that they throw a lot of like Chekhov's guns in like just the first 2 episodes.
He's gonna rant about this.
And let me finish. There's a lot of Chekhov's guns in the first 2 episodes. And, like, every single one of them is touched upon in a great way. Like, I'm watching this on a rewatch now. I'm like, holy shit, they set up, like, stuff that would pay off in, like, a season and a half.
Help.
It's amazing.
Oh.
Oh, man, it's just like, you see a cartoon you're a kid, like, it sucks when you grow up. No, this one's, like, pretty damn good. If anyone watched my episode on the Syndicate episode, Ed and I were on Invincible, and he was like, "Oh, what's the best like superhero cartoon?" This is the one I mentioned. Sorry, I'm done. I'll stop talking before I go on another fucking rant.
Oh, you know what we're all sad about, I bet?
Oh yeah,
Time
we're all
Traveler's
heartbroken.
Wife.
God damn it!
Fuck that. HBO Max, what have you done?
No, it's because they merged with Warner or with Discovery, so they had to get rid of the low hanging fruit.
It's not low hanging. It was
It's
good
not
quality.
low hanging,
It
but
was
like
delicious.
viewership wise, I'm sure it was low hanging. It sucks.
Delicious fruit.
It's
It was
so
actually
good.
decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like, you know how hard it is to fix some of the
And it,
grimy shit in that
and,
book, and they handled it as best they could.
and they ended it at and like it ended at the wedding. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
I knew they were ready for it to be the only season though, because they showed the daughter existing. They showed like a bunch of shit.
It
No,
felt like a we're not getting a season 2.
Like there's a
yeah,
good
that's
chance we're not getting a season 2.
as I'm
So
watching
like,
it. Before I heard the news, I'm like, but they
I
like
was looking.
Ed squinted his eyes. Everyone.
yeah. I'm like, wait a second. When I was watching
Yeah,
that,
we paused in the middle of it to check if there was a season 2 confirmed, and we didn't see anything.
And then like 3 days later, it was.
We got the news.
yeah.
Fuck. It sucks.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. But like, what? I mean, again, if I can heal from Spectacular Spider-Man being canceled, we cannot heal from this.
Bro, I still haven't healed from Dark Matter being
Never
canceled.
heard. You told me
What?
about that show years ago to sleepover.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
you know
man,
what you
that show
should
seems
do?
wild.
You know what you should do? You should watch Dark Matter.
Where's it
It's
on?
like it's like a not better Firefly. It was on Netflix when I watched it. Might still be there. It's a canceled sci-fi show.
Okay.
Let me check actually, because story goes, I watched Cowboy Bebop, fell in love with Space Cowboys, watched Firefly, watched Serenity, watched Dark Matter, and now there's nothing there. I
Yeah,
tried.
all of those were like all of those are one season shows, right?
Yeah.
And also fun. Both of them have
Dark
Firefly and
Matter has
Bebop
like
have movies.
4
Oof.
seasons. Dark Matter has like
Oh,
4
okay.
seasons.
But the
But
point is that like 2 of them got movies, so
Oh.
that's kind of funny. Theatrical
yeah.
releases too.
Oh yeah,
I-
and I did watch the Cowboy Bebop movie also.
It's pretty good.
I
It's actually
want
watching
my
Cowboy Bebop right now.
Space
Yeah.
Cowboys. I tried Space Dandy. It's not good enough. I
What about Doctor Who?
tried. It's not a Space Cowboy. I tried Outlaw Star also. Just not my thing.
Doctor Who has space cowboys.
I'll be honest,
But
Ed,
is the whole thing about Space Cowboys?
Ed,
No.
Space Dandy isn't space. It's the same dude as Cowboy Bebop, but it's not.
It's not a Space
Cowboys.
Cowboy thing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you went in with the worst expectations, my man.
It was space, and he was doing stuff. I don't know, man. I just wanted to watch it, and it wasn't what I wanted, and it's not funny either. It literally is not funny to me. It has 3 seasons. Dark Matter has 3 seasons, and it is on Netflix. You can watch all 3 seasons, and then you can watch where it ends at a cliffhanger. That's how it gets canceled. Dude, but the end of season 1 is so good.
Okay.
It's so good. Anyways.
Okay.
Catch us next time.
We're going to. So I want to continue with time stuff.
Awesome.
And I found one called Triangle from 2009. I've never seen it. I know it involves a time loop, and I could have sworn I've seen the trailer before years ago when I was a kid. Because this movie seems very familiar to me, even though I've never seen it.
I've never even heard of this.
I heard about it online because I looked up, like, someone on Reddit was mentioning, like, a time travel movie, and I saw one that was, like, 80%, and someone's like, if you want to see a worse version of this, look up Triangle. And I'm like, okay, Triangle. Because the other one looked really good.
It has an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Triangle?
Yeah.
But a 6.9 on IMDb and a 3.4 out of 5 on
A
Letterboxd.
3.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd is actually not that bad, as I've been
Yeah,
doing
6.9 isn't terrible on
Letterboxd.
IMDb either.
But it can be fixed. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
So join us next time for that. So you can follow us on our Instagram. Reshoot Podcast. It's underscore, right? Reshoot underscore podcast.
Okay, it's reshoot underscore podcast.
Reshoot underscore podcast. The at reshoot movie PO1 is the
Twitter
handle. If you want some, we talk about stuff all the time. If you can, I don't know if you can find names on Letterboxd, but just in case, if you want to see my weird takes or my short reviews, mine is reshoot underscore Hector.
If you want to send us movie recommendations, you can email us at reshootpodcast@gmail.com.
Or on our Instagram or on our Twitter.
But also, I don't know, send me emails. All I get is junk.
Well, I mean, we also
we
get stuff
didn't
from
get
our
one email
podcast friends.
recommendation a long time ago?
What?
No,
No?
we got a recommendation from. No, we got a few recommendations from Ruthie made a Twitter thread about like, hey, everyone, what's a movie you just hate?
Yeah, what's your least favorite movie?
And we got like enough where we had a few. We did a few. We've done like one or two, I think. But yeah,
I think we did one.
we did one. We can do more from that list.
Next time on Reshoot, join us for Triangle.
Today's film was 12 Monkeys, directed by Terry Gilliam. The screenplay was written by David Webb Peoples and Janet Peoples, but it was inspired by a short film called La Jetée. Did I say it, Ruthie?
La Jetée.
La Jetée, which was written by Chris Marker. Go show some love to their very social media accounts. They made a movie. There's more than we can say here. Have a good day, everyone.
Goodbye.